Hello and welcome to Sean Unshackled. I am Sean and I am recently unshackled from work and debt. I don't owe a single cent to anybody and I answer to nobody except myself. And no, I'm not independently wealthy. I will have to work seasonally and I do hope to generate some income from this channel. So I do still have to work, but I'm no longer bound by a 40+ hour or 5+ day work schedule. It was a long and difficult road to get to this point, but those stories are for other videos. This video is all about welcoming you to this channel and giving you a tour of my self-converted 2019 Chevy Express camper van. When I was trying to decide on how to do this build, I knew that one of the main things I wanted was reliability and simplicity. And so that's why I went with the 2019 Chevy Express. The Chevy Express cargo van has been around forever, virtually unchanged over the years. Parts are plentiful and relatively cheap, and the issues with these vans are known, and there are known solutions to them. This van is a two-wheel drive model, rear-wheel drive. It has an Eaton G80 automatic rear diff locker, and I believe that's going to get me 95% of the places I want to go. I've already taken it on some pretty gnarly off-road trails where 4x4 was recommended, and this van had no problem getting me through those trails. As for the engine, it has the 4.3 six-cylinder direct injected, makes something like 265 horsepower, something like that. But again, in the name of simplicity, I didn't want to go with the V8. It's two more cylinders, two more spark plugs, more stuff to go wrong, and gas mileage, of course, is a bit worse in the V8. So right now I'm averaging 18.5 miles per gallon with this, and it's been nothing but bulletproof reliable. With this build and the motorcycle mounted onto the back of the van, I am right around 7,300 pounds, I think. So still well under the gross vehicle weight rating. However, I did have to do some suspension upgrades to help handle the weight. So I have Journey's off-road 3-inch lift, and I have Super Springs, Helper Springs, and Sumo Springs, which are heavy-duty bump stops, basically. It's probably a little bit dark and hard to see here, but there we go, now it's focused. So these are the Helper Springs right here. See it along here. Basically an extra leaf spring. And I also put in some Bilstein shocks. And then here is the Sumo Springs. So in case the suspension compresses an absolutely massive amount, it'll hit those and help to slow down the travel. And then as for tires, the van came with new Goodyear Workhorse tires. They are the highway tread version. They do make an all-terrain version, but since these are brand new, I am just gonna use these until they wear out before I upgrade the tires. Coming around to the front, I did do a little bit of upgrading on the lights. So I have both high and low beam. I have some LED lights in there, and then we just got a Harbor Freight, forget the brand, I think it's Rock Shocks, something like that, but it's from Harbor Freight, LED light bar here. Alright, so that's about it for the van itself, so let's start getting into the actual build, and we'll start on the roof. So for solar, I have two Renogy 200-watt flexible panels, and they're stuck to the roof with 3M very high bond adhesive. And I have two Max Air fans, big one obviously in the back that can both exhaust and intake air, and then this small one over here, that one is exhaust only. but the idea is I can get a nice continuous flow of air in the van, and that'll help control moisture in the van and obviously temperatures when I'm in hot climates. And then mounted to the roof, I also have some wireless security cameras. You can charge them via USB, and they also trickle charge via solar. Here's a view of the roof from the back. Now let's take a look at the build that I'm most proud of, which is the interior. Keep in mind this whole build was done with no experience and minimal tools. I basically just had a miter saw and a jigsaw, you know, along with basic tools like hammers and screwdrivers, stuff like that. So this is not something that is beyond the reach of almost anybody. You could do this if you really wanted to. All right, so let's start with the back. It's where all the storage is pretty much. Underneath here is where all the storage lies. I got a diesel heater here. This is just some like extra odds and ends. There's fuel for the diesel heater. There's some fuel for my alcohol stove for the mocha coffee pot, and I got a bin full of tools for the van and for the motorcycle. A negative 10-degree sleeping bag here in case I'm ever at a campsite where I can get water or electricity. I got a hose here and a power cord, and let me show you on the exterior here. I got this little outlet here so I can connect to power, and that's another way that I can charge the battery bank. On the bottom of the bed here I have some extra storage as well. There's a table up here and some hiking poles. This container here is empty, and that's going to be for food storage. This bag over here is everything to change a tire. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the rear. Pretty simple back here. These covers here, they're made by Van & Camp, and they were a small fortune, but they're excellent. They're insulated, and they block 100% of light. So really good stuff from Van & Camp. Check them out if you need window coverings. Up front in the cabin area, I did a few upgrades. So I upgraded the audio system so I could have Android Auto in here. This is to hold my cell phone. This is a WeBoost cell phone booster. This is a forward-facing camera. It's mounted to the license plate frame up front. That way, if I'm trying to pull up and I don't have a lot of room, I can actually take a look and see how far I am from hitting whatever is in front of me. And I also installed a swivel for the front passenger seat. So that's about it for the cabin area. Let's get to the main living area. So here is the main living area, and we'll start with this door here. I just got a little trash bin here. I think it's like 2 liters or 2 gallons, something like that. Very small. I got a fun little bottle opener right there, and always got to believe that you can do it. Some more of those window covers here. And this is the sink. Right now it's winter, so I don't have the pump and the water containers in here just to prevent any water inside the lines and stuff from freezing and ruining it. But this is where they would live. I have 3 6-gallon water jugs, 2 for fresh water and then 1 for the gray water. And all of this is built pretty much from 2x2s and 1/4-inch cedar planks. The top here is pallet wood. Also got this sweet foldable table here, and so that's where this swivel chair comes in handy. So I can just sit at that chair and then work here or eat here on the table. And then the sink is just a salad bowl that I cut a hole in and put that drain. And then the soap holder and sponge holder, that's mounted. And this paper towel holder is also screwed onto here from the bottom. Actually don't like the location, I'm probably going to move it back a little bit. Again, simplicity and reliability was the name of the game for this whole build. So instead of building my own electric system, I decided to just do an all-in-one power station. And so I went with the EcoFlow Delta Pro. It's 3,700 watt hours or approximately 300 amp hours of power. So it has a lot of power, and it should be able to get me through 3 or 4 days, I think, off-grid. So with it being an all-in-one unit, the inverter's in there, the battery's in there, all the wiring is in there. So going through the van, all I have up through the wall and the ceiling is the wires coming from the roof for the solar panels to charge the battery bank, and then I have wiring going to the max air fans, and that's it. So if something goes wrong, you know, there's not a lot of guesswork. I know exactly where the wires are. It should be easier to figure out if I have any power issues. So here's the EcoFlow power bank. Up above here, I have some storage space, mostly kitchen stuff. So we got some kitchen utensils and measuring cups in there, and then we got plates, bowls, and utensils here. We turn back over to the sink here. The front has these panels that I built from cedar wood, and this handle here is a branch from my yard. And those are just held on by simple magnets. Quick and easy. Let's take a look at the security system. Cameras should come up here in a second. I got front, both side doors, and the rear door covered. And those are infrared cameras as well, so they do a pretty good job at night. And mounted to the wall here, I have some storage, you know, holding random things, mostly stuff for like hiking, bug spray, bear spray, sunscreen, a tiny first aid kit, very important fire extinguisher, super important to have around. Over here in this container, this is pretty much all my coffee stuff. Got a mocha pot here. This is the stove with the alcohol stove in it that I use for the mocha pot. Got some spoons and stuff. These I made by hand. Really cool. And over here in this little cabinet is just some electronics and odds and ends. So it's very hard to see in there right now. Let's see if I can get some light in there. Yeah, so this basically holds all my charging cables. There's a little Jackery power bank and odds and ends. And I have this 12-volt fridge. It's an Alpicool unit that I got off of Amazon. I believe it's 52 quarts, something like that. But it will work as a refrigerator or freezer. And then there's just some more storage space up here. I think this is probably where I'm going to be keeping like toiletries and stuff like that. And as for lighting, again, keeping with simplicity, everything in here is USB rechargeable or USB powered. So these just stick to the roof with magnets that I put in there. And they're obviously removable, and they got hooks on them. They can change colors. So those are really nice to have. Again, that eliminates any wiring issues that could potentially happen in the ceiling. I got these cool lantern style lights made by Bare Bones. Check them out, they're pretty neat. They get very bright. They last a good long while. And then, of course, I got the, you know, fairy lights around the sides here, which adds some nice ambiance at night. And this is the main storage cabinet where I keep all my cookware. So we got an egg cooker here, a rice cooker. On the bottom here, this white thing is an air fryer. I got a coffee mug, and then I also have an induction pot and pan cook set. It's like all contained in one. It all nests together. That is not in here right now, but it will be. And again, everything's just held closed with magnets. Keep it as simple as possible. Here's what the Max Air fans look like. And then I got the one above the bed. Pretty sure anybody that knows anything about van life knows about Max Air fans, so don't gotta go too deep into them. And then of course I got the bed here. It's a little less than a queen size bed. It's pretty comfortable. It's 4-inch memory foam, pretty firm. I don't feel any of the slats going along the bottom, so that's good. Got a little stool. Vacuum. And of course, for emergencies only, luggable loo. So that's pretty much it, everybody. That's the van tour. Really isn't too much to it. And again, I built this with zero experience, and you can too, if this is a lifestyle that you're thinking you might be interested in. It seems a bit intimidating at first, but it's really not that bad. And there's a billion videos out there and websites with how-tos. So, you know, help is just around the corner. As far as my goals go for this channel, I'm hoping to just document my journey for myself and of course for my friends and family, to let them know where I am in the country and what it is that I'm doing. And of course for you guys as well. I'm hoping to generate some income eventually from this channel. I don't know if I exactly have the personality to, you know, become the next Mav, but that's going to largely be decided by you, the viewers. So if you enjoyed this van tour and you're looking forward to coming along with me on my adventures, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you liked best or what you liked least about this van build. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye.